Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Backfire Simsport TV and welcome back to season 13 of the Simability V8ESC, brought to you live from the Daytona road course for our round 15 endurance race tonight. I'm Clyde Whiting, and in the booth, as usual, and doing your cameras, it's Mr. Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Evening, Clyde. Evening, everybody. Looking forward to this one. It should be an absolute draft fest.
Uh, yeah, it's I love this track. Not because I've been there, but I don't know what you think, Pete. But it's for me anyway. It's one of those tracks that's easy to learn but hard to muster. It opens up the tactical side of any race, because, like you rightly said, it can turn into a draft fest. You have the opportunity to save fuel if you need to, if you have a particularly bad qualifying or a bit of a mishap. You can still pass cars by using that draft. But there's also places that catch you out. Turn one. Um, it's we're going to do getting on for 70 laps tonight. If I was in this race, I would be doing turn one, getting on for 70 different ways. So there's always that possibility of something at turn one, whether there's cars around you or whether you're on your own. There's the entry back onto the banking from the infield course. That's always a place that can throw a car. And then there's the bus stop. So although it's not a difficult track to get those, or at least a perfect lap, you have to be perfect in all those tricky places.
Yeah, absolutely. There's 1,000 different lines into turn one, and I'm sure some will argue actually there's only one good one. But like you say, I do a different line into there every time. I'm not that skilled in order to be able to do it the same each go. I think the bus stop is a bit of an anathema for even the best of drivers. Sometimes you just go in there, get ever so slightly too much curb, or have a car on your inside that you don't normally have, or something like that, because you're slightly offline. You encounter some strange things. It spits you out in all sorts of directions, and usually over into that left wall, which you wouldn't normally expect, I don't suppose. But yeah, it's going to be a bit tasty tonight. Like you say, it's quite an easy track to learn. I think it's like 12 turns. I was going through it in my head. Yeah, I think it's 12 turns if you include all the banking as 2 turns each, like they would do.
There's no point you counting them in your head because you've probably only ever done 8.
It's not Bathurst. I don't know what you're on about. This one I'm less crashy at, but I have speared into the tyres at the pit wall. Well, it's exit, isn't it? But if we got someone going through there, I don't know. There's only 4 cars on track. We've only got 12 in the session tonight. Like, some real key names missing.
There is. And interesting, you just said, pit lane.
Yeah.
It's not a difficult pit lane to get on, but it can be a difficult pit lane to get on safely and at the correct speed.
Yeah. The amount of times that I've thought, oh yeah, it's a straight line braking into pit road, and it's really not. There's a turn involved in it, and these cars, they just want to murder you at every point, don't they? Really. So you put your foot on the brake. You're not braking quite as hard as you should be because you're going at a stupid speed around here as well. You don't really realise it, do you? You've got no appreciation for the speed.
No, that's right.
So
and
you jump on the brake and it snaps on you because it's got rear diff and all that.
Yeah, I was gonna. And drivers will be naturally running brake pressure to the rear or brake balance to the rear as much as possible.
Yeah.
And that can catch you out quite quickly. The qualifying session has just gone green. So last time out we was at Knock Hill, and we had a double win for Simon Trendle. So with 5 rounds to go, including this one, I think we are at we got a double round at Silverstone,
Yep.
and then we finish off with a double round at Sandown, I think. At the moment, Simon Trendle has a commanding lead in the championship, looking to make it back-to-back championships with 2,004 points. Kenzie Newhoff, who's not here tonight, at the moment anyway, second with 1,532, and Adam Wright, who is here tonight, is third with 1,510. In the team standings, Team Chimera stretched away a bit from BSTV Esports last week, so they lead the way on 3,752. BSTV Esports with 3,452, and NQR Europe in third with 3,103. Driver of the meeting, that's going to go all the way to the wire. We have 3 drivers on 3 votes each. That is Eric Blix, Tony Kloosterman, and Alex Civillano-Ledo. In the Logan Jackson Safe Driver Award, Simon Trendle leads the way, Rob Venny second, and Rob Woodhouse in third. And in the Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award, Simon Trendle leads the way with Alex Civillano-Ledo in second and Kenzie Newhoff in third. Now, we've mentioned Alex Ledo a couple of times there, Pete, and we had some good news, didn't we, last weekend? Alex has taken control of our BSTV Twitter account, something that me and Pete know probably about as much as
Racing
Ant
cars.
Woodward knows about perms. So Alex has very kindly took that on. We know he's been busy in the background, and hopefully everybody watching and all the drivers will get on there, follow us, like us, love us. I don't know what you actually do on there, tweet us, no idea, but whatever it is, get on there and get it done, and we'll twat you back or whatever you do. I don't know. I have no idea. Some evenings on the chat already. Alan Toon, I'm sure he'll be sat there with a glass of something watching this. Canadian Crispy Bacon, bloody hell, he's up early.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, sorry, that was Alan Toon again. So yeah, Pete, Daytona.
Yeah.
I love the racing around here. It's going to be, I'm going to say it's going to be a 3-stopper. Somebody may try and do it as a 2-stopper, you never know. So there's plenty of opportunity for things to go wrong with pit stops. And more importantly, there's 2 hours of us knowing probably what's going on. We have no idea who's pitting where. Has he got to pit again? Is he going to run out of fuel? We have no idea.
No, and there's going to be a few pit stops tonight, I think. Because I don't think you can do this on 2 stops, can you? It has to be 3. Let's do
I'm sure we did it on 1.
Yeah, oh yeah, without a doubt, we did it on 1. And 600 forced pit stops. So turn 1, keep it inside, keep it close to that inside wall, and then through this very wide open chicane and get yourself up for, is this international horseshoe? I think it is, isn't it? As Adam kind of dives it down the inside of Rob Venn there, he's going to park it, isn't he?
Yeah,
just to annoy
he
me.
was expecting Rob to let him go then, to be honest.
I do as well, but we'll see. I'll have to find somebody new to go and stalk then, won't I? Anybody going over the stripe at the minute? No, is the answer. I'll have to talk about some other nonsense. Vincent Skillbeck's the next one round to probably try and put a proper lap on the board, so we'll join Vincent, see if he's more reliable than Adam was. So yeah, I mean, you're kind of braking at the first kink there for the pit road, which disappears off to your left, and over the stripe here, staying low and then drifting up to the wall. Find yourself a braking point that you can brake in a straight line in this car, because braking in a turn as Vincent's just found out, and bailed on the lap.
Yeah,
Doesn't
he
work.
was trying to modulate the brake and the steering wheel at the same time then, wasn't he?
He was, and yeah, that doesn't work. We shall have one last stab at it. My old teammate Stephen Phillips, he'll do us proud, right?
No, he'll bail.
So again, stick it on the inside of turn 1. Let's see if we can get this done. Don't hit those tyres. That's my favourite strike point. He's got himself all sorts of woes there, so he's going to pull it up as well. So I'm not going to do this anymore, Clyde.
There's no point.
There's no point, is there?
I think
nobody's going to do a
listening.
lap. Nobody's going to do a lap.
Yeah, I think it's either a very, very strong curse, or they listen, and as soon as they know they're on the screen, they bin it on purpose.
Yes.
Or the pressure's on their shoulders and they bin it.
Do you know what? I reckon JB is going to be the one. I'm going to try it. So, JB, stay on the track, mate.
You shouldn't have called him JB. You should have called him Simon Trendle or something, and then he
yeah.
wouldn't have known.
That's true. So, Western Horseshoe. We're about halfway around the lap already here. As you would expect, second gear around this one. Fire it towards what they call in and out on this version of the track, where you rejoin, which is where Clyde was saying this is the dodgiest turn on the track. It really is. As soon as you get on the gas in these cars, because you're not running any wing, are you? You're running like a Rizzler paper at best. Onto the gas, fire it round this banking. It feels like it goes on forever, and then slowly make your way to the right, underneath that wall, and you're looking for not the 3 marker, not the 2 marker, but that stick in the air there, and then get onto the inside curb here, right the way around. You should have been on the gas already, JB, to fire it out of there, and then round this banking, get down. If he's letting somebody through, he'll stay high, unless he's building up for a lap, because he'll want to get as much run up to the start finish line as possible, which is why he's staying high at the minute, and then drop down onto that yellow line and get yourself the most optimal line you can. So JB's done us good there, Clyde.
Yeah, and don't forget bus stop, where we see JB not doing it ideally, but he got through it. Big place for slowdowns.
Oh, it's mega. It's mega, and you can get them on the entrance and the exit. It doesn't take much to get them either now. They've changed the track. You remember when they put the NASCAR chicane in?
Yes.
They affected some of the off tracks, and the bus stop one is one of the ones that's really bad for me now. I don't know whether it is for other people. I'll probably get told now it's never changed and it's just all in your head, because that's what you usually get told. But there you go.
Well, as this is an endurance race, obviously the drivers have got 5 extra incident points to play with. So normally it's 15, but for the endurance races we've given them 20 this season. So it'll be interesting to see halfway through, an hour in, where things are, and if it looks likely that anybody will take a trip to the naughty step.
I mean, it's possible, isn't it? It's not like some of the other tracks that we've been to, which have been real magnets, and it's not like Kota. We've not been there in the V8s this season, have we? The last time we went there, it was a bit of an off-track fest, as it always is at Kota. I'm just going to try and find the schedule now. Did we go to... Oh, yeah, it was the first round, wasn't it? Kota West.
Yeah.
The off-track capital of the world. It's not like that. I mean, you're going to pick up maybe a couple every 10 laps or something, as Alex gets turn 1 very wrong and sideways through it, and then wheel spin on the exit. That's not going to help his chances to get on pole. Our pole man at the minute, Clyde, do not adjust your set, is Jamie Wilson.
Yeah, I looked at that about 2.5 minutes ago, and I was going to say something, and I thought, no, don't say anything. Just see what happens. Although, I think as we were saying,
it's a good lap.
Yeah, as we were saying at the start, qualifying isn't everything around here, because it is a track that you can catch cars and a track that you can overtake cars. So, you know, even a Simon Trendle currently down there in 6th, he won't be too upset if that's where he starts. He'll be upset that there's a start involved, because obviously
Chimera.
we know that Chimera woes with the starts. But he knows at this track he can make those places up. It's not like a Winton or a Knock Hill.
No, not at all. And that's Simon in front of his own teammate. We're on board with Jamie. A bit of wheel spin going out of turn one. That's to be expected. The track temperature. What?
A bit.
A bit, yeah. It's called heating the tyres dynamically. That's what it's called. Putting it through a heat cycle, I think, is what they used to call it, isn't it? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. He's dropped back off Simon here. He's not going to get much toe that far back, I wouldn't have thought. But we'll see. Simon's actually moved into second place there on a lap with no toe, which is pretty mighty.
Yes. We don't know, obviously, who's had a toe and who hasn't on these laps.
No.
But Jamie is doing a lot of turning right when he's going left.
Yeah, I wonder if it's any different with his teammate. Let's have a look. We should be able to see it going through the bus stop, if nothing else. So on board with Simon Trendle. He's going to look for that stick at the top there and then tip it in. It's quite reserved, if anything, that. But maybe it's quick. Maybe it's quick. I don't know. What do I know about racing cars?
Well, yeah, he's not up on his quickest time, is he?
No, not on the timing screens. No. Is he boxing the car? Yeah, he's. Oh, see, this is practice pit stop. It's not the easiest. You have to aim at that yellow cone, because if you aim anywhere else, it's too sharp and the brakes will lock on you.
Yeah, that was conservative.
Yeah.
You know the worrying thing at the moment, don't you?
Hang on.
The front row.
Oh yeah, the Great Wall of Chimera. It's not TCRs anymore. The Great Wall of Honda. You remember you were saying about drivers listening to me?
Yeah.
They literally do that in TCR now. You know, have you watched any of the broadcasts lately? So they listen to me and they all start flashing their lights and winding me up and doing all sorts of stuff these days. A very naughty crew.
A mute broadcast.
A mute broadcast. That's class. I'm just going to shut the window behind me. Right, and I'm back. So, season 14, Clyde.
14, yes.
Yes, I'm probably a bit premature with this, but it's not the first time. Are we having our Simability sponsors continue? Do we know?
I don't know.
I've not spoken to him.
Absolutely no planning for season 14 whatsoever.
Understood. Be good if they could. Simability, as it says there, making sim racing accessible, modifying sim gear so that people less fortunate than some of the rest of us can actually participate in sim racing. Those individuals that have got some sort of disability or impairment that would prevent them using normal sim gear, Simability do a fantastic piece of work in making it possible. Go and have a look at their website and see if you can help them out financially in some way. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. We've done that before, haven't we, Clyde?
We certainly have, and I will email Glenn tomorrow because I would really like to get him on the broadcast for one of the final 2 rounds. So I know he's built a new shop in his back garden, as we would call it over here, and he can tell us all about that and what's going on with Simability at the moment.
Yeah. There's always something, isn't there?
Yes.
He's a busy boy.
Yeah, so Checker is about to come out. As this is a single race session, drivers on a lap will be able to finish their lap. Jamie Wilson hasn't come out of the pits.
I don't think he needs to. I don't think he needs to. He's... what is he? 1/10 Faster than Tony Klosterman, who's
Yeah,
next.
top 4 are amazingly close.
They really are, yeah. And then Vincent Skilbeck's not that far behind, a quarter of a second. Then you got Ant Woodward and Wobbly. Wobbly's joined us for a race.
Okay, so I don't think there is a couple of cars on track.
There's one now.
Vincent is still. Oh no, he's just finished. Rob Venn.
Rob's not got any green sectors that I can see. I mean, you don't get many sectors around here, do you?
I think they class this as 5, don't they?
Yeah.
But he doesn't. To be honest, he doesn't need to make up a great deal to get above Stephen Phillips.
No, he's bailed on the lap anyway. You can tell by the behaviour of the car. Off the gas early. Seeing where his off tracks are, I think. Looking at that. And just to echo what Alan says, great time for Jamie. It's very, very good. That is a super fast lap. I think this will be a pit stop practice. Yeah, so when it kinks on the brakes, that's very good. Aim at the yellow cone. Oh, and then turn in a bit early. So he was not on hot pace there, I don't think. But yeah, pit stops, easy to get wrong. On pit lane entry and exit, you know they've extended the pit lane idle distance, don't you?
Yes.
It's right round the corner now, and I get caught out all the time because my muscle memory kicks in and I'm on the gas as soon as I've left the cones, the first set of cones.
Well, I don't believe that for a minute because I know you've got no muscle or memory.
I've got no memory. That's absolutely right. I've just got seriously relaxed muscle. So, we're going to be starting here with 12 races. Normally, you'd think that's going to be a threat, but we've learnt to not say that in this league, haven't we, Clyde? Because less cars sometimes has made for brilliant races.
And this track is not going to let anybody... this is the famous last words, not going to let anybody run away. But anyway, let's bring you your starting grid. So Jamie Wilson goes off first for Team Chimera with teammate Simon Trendle in second. Tony Klosterman, Never Quit Racing, in third. Adam Wright, BSTV Esports Green, in fourth. Vincent Skilbeck, Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic, in fifth. And Woodward, NQR Europe, in sixth, with Wobbly Kneecaps in seventh. Eighth is Nikolai Bogotyrev, NQR Europe, and ninth is Stephen Phillips, Dashhound Racing. 10th, Rob Venn, BSTV Sports Green, and 11th is Alex Civilano Lado for Hydra Race Racing Forces. And rounding out your 12-car grid is Jamie Dejoux for BSTV Sports Blue.
Well done. Right, let's get to the grid. See if I can get a decent camera.
Know.
What?
What you just sent me.
Oh, yeah.
Right. What sort of start are this Chimera team going to get tonight? Are they going to cause havoc with the rest? We're about to find out because the lights are about to come on. Here we go. 2 hours.
Green flag.
And we green.
Whoa, lots of wheel spin. Lots and lots.
That was massive wheel spin there from Jamie Wilson.
Yeah, he's got himself handily back in the fifth already.
Yeah, as I say, it's going to dump him somewhere around the 5th place mark.
Side by side here with Adam and Tony.
Yeah, if you can
that's
stay
contact.
there...
That's very, very heavy contact.
More contact. Yeah, I was literally going to say, if you can stay there, you're in a good place. But cold tyres...
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. They were both fishtailing out of the corner with wheel spin and they kind of tank slapped each other.
Yeah.
Side by side here with Stephen Phillips and... Is that Ant? It is, yeah, 265. It's Ant.
Yeah.
So, off to the races, Clyde, already. Simon Trendle got himself a bit of gap.
Yes, Vincent Skilbeck up there in second. Now all the shenanigans have sorted themselves out.
And your corner, you called it earlier. It's caught one out already.
Yeah, it's probably the worst one on cold tyres.
Adam Wright's getting a bit racy again now.
Well, he needs to.
Yep.
Again, you know, like we said at the start, this is a track that you can be back there, but you can make passes, so you can get it back.
Let's have a look at this from the sky. No, Stephen. Sounded very carry on camping then, didn't it? Ooh,
yeah.
The draft in full flow. Everybody's gone behind the buildings. It's a feature of Blimp Cam at Daytona. Is that Adam round the outside there? Oh dear, we're stacking up. Who's that? Is that Simon? No.
That was...
It's Jamie. It's Jamie.
It was Jamie, yeah.
I think, yeah, Simon's even further ahead now. He's got 3 seconds as a lead glide.
But what's happened...
I'll
What happened to Vincent? Because he was involved in that with Jamie, but he shouldn't have been there.
No. I'm trying to find something with Vincent's name on it. And I can't find anything at the moment. Give me a minute. Oh, hang on. This may be something to do with it. Where's Vincent? Oh, he got tagged by Jamie, and Jamie slowed and went round the outside of him to make sure he didn't get it back. Right, okay, so that explains that climb.
Well, that throws up more questions for me.
What? Why was Jamie
pushing for second place when he was down in fifth? We obviously missed some moves.
If we have, then I've not got them on my event tracker. Vincent with a slowdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jamie had that horrible start which dropped him down to fifth, didn't it?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I know what it would be. Sorry. It would have been the Tony Kloosterman and Adam.
Yes. Stephen Phillips. Bottom stop of the podium at the minute. Looking to elbow his way past Ant Woodward for a second step. Second step's always better than third, right?
Yeah.
You'd think they were in a sprint race.
It is. It's a 2-hour sprint. You know that, man.
It feels like that. So why is Vincent still going backwards? What's going on? Robles just overtaken him. Oh, this is going to end bad, isn't it? So Adam Wright has got himself back into third place. Is that where he started? No, he started in fourth, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got good control of the car now. Where's Tony ended up? Oh, there, just at the back of that group.
Yeah.
Nikolai's just overtaken JB. That's a bit further back. And that was out of the the rejoin to the oval, that was. JB got it wrong then. Yeah, a little bit of wheel spin, that's all that took. A little bit of wheel spin. Look at this. Jamie Wilson, huge amount of tow.
Any one of 72 lines into turn one.
I can't remember which race it was, but it was hilarious, where we were all driving round in a massive pack, and the lead changed every single lap. Going into turn one, it was just like a lottery. It was whoever could do the corner the safest, really, ended up at the front. Simon Trundle, 2.8 seconds ahead of this group. Just make him out there. It's on the screen.
That was 3.5 seconds, so...
I wonder what the fuel save's worth around here.
Yeah, I'm not convinced well, it's always worth something.
What are you eating?
Cake.
What cake?
Chocolate orange cake.
Nice. So Vincent overtakes Wobbly. Wobbly drops back in for some tow. And to give Vincent a bit of a race back there. Adam, meanwhile, takes off. Oh, is Vincent catching Jamie Wilson by some sort of rapid margin?
He's in the tow.
He is, isn't he? That gap just disappeared. I think Jamie got a slow down. He did. He got a slow down at the bus stop. At least I'm assuming that's what this is. Because he was in Stephen's toe, and I was wondering why that gap just reduced very quickly. He's hot into the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, he had to bail there, didn't he?
He did. He controlled the car spectacularly, which is brilliant. Oh. And we're going to have to do another replay almost immediately. Sharp-eyed of you would have seen this one in the distance. I don't know what he's done here. Has he tried an overtake on... Ooh. Eh? Did my eyes deceive me or what?
That was weird, wasn't it?
That looked like technical issues.
I don't know. The car definitely snapped, didn't it, when it changed direction?
Yeah, but in a way that I've not seen a V8 do. I'm keeping on this for a reason. And that's the reason. So he's pulled over and parked it. And reset to the pits. Let's just have another look at that, because that was just bizarre. There are races going on at the minute. Oh, and that's all I get of it, is it? Okay.
Jamie Wilson has just had some trouble as well.
He has. I'm going to go to that now. It's all very much happening right now, isn't it? Ooh, he got a little nudge on the back of Vincent's car. Sailed it through the bus stop. And then reset to the pits, oddly. Didn't look like he'd done much damage to that, did it?
And disconnected.
Oh. So, just not very happy about the V8 tonight. That's a shame. I can only echo Canadian Crispy Bacon's message. It is a weird race so far.
Adam right now has the job from second place to try and close that gap to Simon Trundle.
Which he is doing. It's come down, did you say it was 3 points something at one point?
Yeah, it,
2.5.
the biggest I've seen it is 3.5.
But Simon's very good at keeping his stuff in good order, isn't he?
He certainly is. And he will obviously be trying to save a bit of fuel where he can.
Yeah.
Which may not help him in this phase of the race, but certainly will do towards the end. Wobbly and Vincent are still going at it.
Yeah, Wobbly closing in again. And Tony Klusman's just done the fastest lap of the race.
He certainly has.
That's quite a lot faster as well.
Yeah, although he is in the tow of 2 other cars, so
right,
that always helps.
Lovely line from Wobbly through turn 1 there. Really nice.
Canadian Crispy Bacon asking if this is a 1-stopper. I think it's going to be more like a 3-stopper.
Yeah.
Don't forget these cars are fuel limited to 70% of a full tank.
So then there were 10. We've had 2 retirements. Stephen Phillips has retired. I wonder what happened to him. That snap of the car looked very, very like technical disaster to me.
Yeah, he just, I don't know, for me he seemed like he was in control after it, but you never know, do you, with technical issues?
No. This is what Tony Klusterman sees at the minute. He puts a move on his own teammate, and is that Rob? No, it's Adam.
No, that's Adam. Yeah.
Yeah. Tony Klusterman is promoted to 2nd place, Clyde.
Yeah, and you know these 3 can probably do that to each other all night, but that's not going to help them catch Simon.
Well, I think it will. That's the point. They've got tow on one another, so you're better off letting the slingshot car past, because it'll reduce the gap to the car who's on his own, no tow, isolated. He can only go at the speed of the car. These guys can go ever so slightly faster than the speed of the car because they've got a hole punched in the air for them. So I think that exchange of places is bringing them onto him.
I think the exact opposite to that. I think you're better off all 3 of you in a straight line, because you're then pushing, or the air is pushing the front car through the air quicker than what it normally would do.
See, you do a lot of, or did a lot of NASCAR, didn't you? You know, bump drafting and group racing, so you've probably got a better understanding, particularly at Daytona, of the dynamic of that. And my much more simple brain says, if I've got a slingshot and I'm going X amount of miles an hour faster over the course of such a long straight as at Daytona, that should benefit me over the course of the lap. But we'll have to see. And JB's getting racy with Alex.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, actually, it's Alex getting racy with JB, and then sorry, no, I'm wrong. These 2 have been exchanging places quite regularly for about half a lap. And I think it was Alex making his way through on JB earlier.
Yeah, Alex quite a way down from where we normally see him. Obviously a race winner this season.
Yeah.
But let's give him an excuse. So he's been that busy with the Twitter account, he hasn't had any time for practice.
Yeah, he's got quite a lot of damage on the rear left of that Hydra Race Racing Forces Mustang. But it doesn't seem to be doing him any harm at the moment. Ooh, this is on again. Or it was for a minute. They have taken more time out of Simon Trendle, though, as Adam decides the extracurricular route is good, Clyde.
Yeah. That can catch you out, can't it?
Yeah.
You know, you just carry that few extra miles an hour into a corner and it just throws your braking point. Crispy asking if we can get away with bump drafting in this series. I'm going to say yes, because I've
definitely
seen it before.
Yeah. It used to be a regular thing when we did this race with a lot more cars, and the team bump draft was a big feature, wasn't it, Clyde?
Yeah, definitely. I must admit, I've not tried it with this version of the car.
No, that's a good point. That was in the old Falcon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Are they bringing more cars to the V8 or not?
Absolutely no idea.
Because there was talk of it a few years ago, wasn't there? And then nothing happened.
Well, yeah, the new. Oh, sorry, I lost the driver then, but he's there. Yeah, the new cars are. Well, you know, we don't know what stage they're at of when they're likely to be released. We was hoping it was going to be for this season. I know all the data has changed hands and things like that, so I don't quite know what they've scanned, what's coming, when it's coming. iRacing #soon.
And just to confirm what Canadian Crispy Bacon just said, Tony is cutting that lead down.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good lap actually. Half a second he took out of Simon on that last lap. Do you think that Simon's preserving his stuff, or Tony knows this place so well he's just a bit faster?
I would say a little bit of both. Possibly more on the Simon saving his stuff. He knows he can't win it in the first stint. So, you know, anything that he can save in the 3, maybe 4 stints that we're going to do is going to make his pit stop, or at least his final pit stop, shorter. So we've seen that happen on numerous occasions, on numerous seasons as well.
It'd be good to see Tony on the top step again though, wouldn't it? It's been a while.
It has been a while, yes.
In fact, it's been a while. Has Bob Woodhouse been on the top step recently? I can't remember.
Well, he's not going to get on the top step today.
Well, very not, but I was just referring back to another NQR driver that I remember getting the victories.
And Woodward has probably been one of the most consistent drivers this season.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm surprised he's not higher up the league table. Do you know what I mean? Where is he on that? Hang on. I'm also clicking the same buttons. Yeah, so he's in 9th.
9th, yeah.
But you're right, it feels like he's, you know, been the driver to bring home the steady points for NQR Europe. So Adam Wright seems to have overtaken Anne Woodward and started to pull away now, but then I think the tow will eradicate all of that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Adam's struggling a little bit with that damage he's got on the side of his car.
Yeah, it looks like well, it'll be the rub damage from the hip check at the start, won't it?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing him in any more than that. I think Canadian Crispy Bacon's just issued a big curse on Tony. So Rob Venn has found and caught and now overtaken JB.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Crispy Bacon has typed it now.
He has. It's actually
no coming back from that, is there?
No, it's in blue and white on my screen. I don't know what it is on YouTube. I'll go and have a look. Well, on my YouTube it's in white and black, so it's there for everybody to see. Curses are strong when it comes to racing.
He's got that down to 1.5 seconds now, so I think he'll be feeling. This is going to sound really weird. Simon's rear breath, I was going to say.
That's called a
What
fart,
does that
Clive.
mean? Yeah. No, yeah.
I think that he needs to get a little bit nearer to properly benefit.
Yeah, but he's close enough to, like, he's gained 4/10 there.
Yeah.
So it does get you from quite a way back here. It's surprising.
Yeah, and whilst this track is, like you say, easy to learn, difficult to master, there's a few technical corners. It's almost a Tony Klusterman track, isn't it? Because he's done loads of laps around it in this car. He's good with his right foot, if you take my meaning. I think he could do well here tonight.
Yeah, I think this is just pretty much what we're 22 minutes. So yeah, before the pit stop, these four I think are going to be back together.
Yeah, pit stops to leave put them on the same bit of tarmac or tear them apart.
Well, Tony's not going to be able to pass and pull away from Simon.
Yeah.
If they fight each other, Adam and Ant will catch up. If they stay in line, Adam and Ant will catch up. Yeah, that's all I can see happening at the moment. Is it's at least for this stint anyway, is going to be a 4-car battle for the lead. Probably a bit wild.
It's not a car he normally drives. That doesn't usually stop him from being fast, though, does it?
No, but it's not a car that he's unknown in.
True.
He has done seasons with us.
Yep. I'm just going to have to go into my driver overrides and add him so that it doesn't keep doing what it's doing right now.
What is it doing?
Well, it doesn't show him unless I select him. What's his racing number?
I don't know, but I can see him.
No, in the timing tower.
Okay, click off of him.
Hang on, cancel that. If I click off him and go to somebody else, he disappears.
Oh, so he does, yeah.
So.
It's better when he's disappeared, to be honest.
Yeah, it makes all the people from like 7th onwards gain a place. It's fine.
Send you his number.
If you wouldn't mind.
Try and do more than one thing at a time. Then lost the broadcast. There it is. Oh.
What?
So, Stephen Phillips, it wasn't technical. He had a random snap of oversteer, and iRacing pinged him with a 40-second stop and hold.
Wow, that's brutal.
That is, yeah. Now, I know folks at home can't see it at the moment, but Tony Klusterman is less than a second behind Simon Trendle. What happened? What happened to Ant and Adam?
Hang on, I'll do it now. Oh, right, okay. I've just... because I can see it before you can. to keep it. Hopefully he stays in shot. Yeah, he does, yeah. That's what happened.
Okay.
Turn 1.
Vincent is now on the back of that pair.
He is, and this happened as we were watching the last one, so as always happens, everything stacks up on the cameraman. Oh, don't hit the wall. Oh, he's hit the wall. That's at the rejoin, isn't it?
That's a strange one, that.
Well, I've done that. It's just getting your braking point wrong and you sail straight on into the wall. Albeit I've done it in an LMP2. Let's go back live. We'll go and find Tony, who... Ooh, actually, we'll go and have a look at Vincent. He's caught Adam after Adam's off.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what that damage is doing to Adam. We'll find out when he pits, because if it's not affected him, he obviously won't use his fast repair. But if he comes out with a nice shiny car, then I think that's been affecting him in this run.
Fastest lap of the race is still Tony Kloosterman, 1:45.35.
Yeah, well, those two have now got a chance to pull away, because Ant Woodward is well out of their draft now.
And Rob Venn's having a good race, isn't he? He's found
He's
himself
suddenly
an Alex.
come alive, hasn't he?
Yeah. Go on, Rob.
Nikolai Bogotyrev is up the road from this battle, about 7 seconds.
7 seconds. On any other track you'd think, that's massive. And on Daytona you're thinking, nah, you can make that back.
Yeah. Or you can lose that.
Or you can lose another 7 seconds, yeah. Right, let's see if Vincent can do anything in the... What? Oh, his connection's a bit sketchy.
Yeah.
Can do anything in this tow. He's staying behind him. Purposefully staying behind him.
Yeah.
Fuel saving?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
You know, what you can do at this stage in the race, provided you make no mistakes going forwards, you reap the rewards of later on in the race.
Yeah, definitely. And Tony Kloosterman now in spitting distance of Simon Trendle. I think the same will be true. He's not going to try anything, is he? He's going to... Is he?
I don't know. You don't know, do you?
You know,
we know, and Tony knows, that he can't fuel save.
that's true.
So, what does he do? Does he sit behind Simon and try and fuel save? Or does he just go, do you know what, I can't fuel save, I'm just going all out? Unfortunately, that could then play into Simon's hands.
Yeah. Just thinking the same thing. So, Alex Lado into the pits.
So to stop this race, drivers are going to have to get to 40 minutes.
What are we on?
30.
Oh God, really? Another 10 minutes of racing. That's a lot of fuel. Ooh, and Tony's just suddenly got within 2/10 of our race leader, 1/10 now.
Yeah, that wasn't really suddenly. That was called turns 3 and 4.
Was it?
The tow all the way from the bus stop to turn 1.
Oh, you're talking NASCAR 3-4, right? Okay.
Yeah.
With you now. I was like, they're only at turn 1. What's he on about? Has he been sniffing that chocolate orange cake or what?
I did inhale it, to be honest.
It sounded like it. You got to take a breath, you know. You'll choke. Nikolai and JB have entered pit road.
Yeah. I think possibly. What are we going to look at? Simon Trendle?
I don't think
maybe.
he could have. No, no way. He's been out front for too long. There's no.
Yeah, but he's not been pulling away out front, has he?
No, he's not. No, he's not setting the world alight and doing a foggy with it, is he? Or a Kenzie. Kenzie would be off down the road, wouldn't he? Be in the next postcode. But he's not here, so he can't. Ooh, Tony. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was a big fishtail coming around there. See what sort of tow he gets here.
Just watch the gap disappear.
Oh, hello.
Ooh,
He
yeah,
kind of duped him then
Tony.
as well. Oh, did he get stopped?
Well, that was close, but I think he did. Think. I shouldn't think. That's not good for me.
No. Does it hurt? Because I'm not. I think it's overrated.
I like funny noises.
There's quite a few in at the minute. Cars popping up onto the jacks. I don't know whether they'll bother getting any damage repaired. They certainly won't use a fast repair.
Well, I think Vincent has just done a whole fuel stint without losing any panels off of his car.
Can't be.
It's that new paint, I'm telling you.
It can't be, right? There's somebody else driving the car then. It's Jamie McKnight. So, Wobbly has not pitted. Adam has not pitted. And your race leader, Simon Trendle, has not yet pitted their cars.
They're still 7 minutes shy of a two-stopper. Simon Trendle will be running his own race.
Oh, without a doubt.
He's not a reactive driver. But you know, if I got in my head, I'm going to go to this lap and then pit, and then everybody starts pitting before me, I pit because I think I've done something wrong. But Simon, you don't get that. Although he has pitted, but if Simon can't two-stop it, then nobody can. Yeah, he got that slowed down.
Where's Wobbly going? Where is Wobbly going? Funniest pit stop of the day, Clyde.
Adam is doing the I'm doing what Simon does because he wins lots of races tactic.
And you would, wouldn't you? You would. Why is he pitting? I don't know, but he usually wins races. I'll do that. Rob Venn seems to have ended up a bit further back down the order. His pit stop was a bit slower than everybody else's. 2 seconds slower than most other cars.
Yeah, that
Hello.
is that the stop time or the total time?
Hello. Leader's changed.
Yeah, undercut maybe.
They were both stationary in pit road for exactly the same amount of time.
Yeah, maybe just that one lap on nice shiny tyres.
I'm wondering whether it was the suicide kamikaze approach that Tony took to actually getting into the pits. Do you remember?
Could have been, yeah.
Yeah. Because his pit lane time is the fastest of anyone, a 1:09.67. Simon did a 1:10.92, so he's gained 1.3 seconds in pit road.
Which was enough.
Yeah, oh yeah, more than enough. What is he ahead now? 2.1?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
So I think that coupled with a lap on new tyres. But I can't help but feel that Simon will be smiling. he will just cruise up behind Tony and sit.
Alright, okay. Let's see if you're right. I do hate it when you're right, but no mind. Ant Woodward, 3rd place. Was that the same before?
Yes. But Vincent has jumped Adam, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. Definitely.
Let's have a look at the side of Adam's car, see if he did take a fast repair.
Right, so Tony didn't, because his car's still, like, monged up on the right-hand side. Let's have a look at this
on the
one.
left, wasn't it?
Oh, he's fixed it.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think possibly that damage was affecting him in the first stint.
Right, let's see what he can do now, as Tony Klusterman's just done the fastest lap of the race. A 1:45.04. That is a great lap by Tony, you're right, Alan.
Yeah, and I've got to agree with Grant. Why was I going to call him Grant? Alan. Just not with it. This is definitely not over yet. Too many things can happen in the next hour and 22.5 minutes.
Should we have a roll on board with Mr. Trendle and see what he's doing? See if he's off the gas early or anything like that.
I wouldn't have thought so, not with that gap, but I think you'll start to see him save what he can once he gets up behind Tony.
Let's change the camera, because I'd hate that windscreen wiper thing in the middle, it gets on my nerves. He's off the gas really early for turn 1. Like mega early, as Tony does a 1:44.95.
Yeah, and Simon did a 9.57.
So yes, Simon Trundle's now holding the fastest lap.
We need the Jaws music.
Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't it? 1.6 seconds is the gap at the moment. Vincent is catching Ant Woodward now. Pretty rapid, actually.
That gap at the front is now going to come down a lot.
And this one will as well.
Adam Wright's got some work to do to catch Vincent, let alone anybody in front of Vincent.
Yeah, and Adam Wright's got a lot to lose here, really. Tony Klusterman in the standings is only 50 points behind him. So really, Adam's going to give up 3rd place in the championship if he doesn't put his foot down. Gap is down to 1 second, Clyde.
Yeah, that's unsurprising. I know he's in the tow.
Vincent's keen to get 3rd place.
Adam Wright is rapid at the moment. He's just done his fastest lap of the race with a 45.3, which doesn't sound quick, but he's not in any tow, so that is a quick lap for a single car.
Yeah, I suppose the next comparative car is Ant Woodward, who's in the front of this little pairing. I needed a 1:45.6, so that's 3/10 faster than another car with no tow. And there he is, heading into Western Horseshoe.
Read Alan's message on the chat and I thought it was you talking to your sausages, Pete.
Was that crispy?
I'm with you, my crispy friend.
I don't know what you're on about, Clyde. They look like all barbecued sausages.
Why don't you just buy black sausages and then nobody would know?
Well, then you wouldn't know what you're eating.
You don't know what you're eating anyway.
I know. That was funny though. Which one's the dragon sausage? Dunno. Which one's the black pudding sausage? Dunno.
Is Vincent going to have a go at this? I think he is, you know.
I think he wants
I
it.
think he fancies this.
Yeah. Simon Trendle, however, doesn't. He's staying 1.5 seconds astern.
I honestly didn't expect Simon to do anything else. I think Simon's got the handle on this car at the moment, more than anybody else, and he can even save when he's leading.
Yeah.
So saving in second is going to be even easier. I would like to see a full season of Simon Trendle, Chris Jackson, Johnny Brandon.
And Foggy.
I think Foggy might just be ahead of them with his standards of driving at the moment.
You reckon? And George McClay?
Oh yeah, no, like George, another fantastic driver. Had a bit of bad luck, didn't he? But,
He did, yeah.
Yeah, when he's on top form, mate, yeah, he can be quite unstoppable.
Yeah. We've seen him destroy fields before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great driver. Really, really classy. Oh, where's Vincent gone? There he is. I think you're right. I think Vincent's wanting a third place for sure.
Yeah, it's it's always, if you think you are quicker than the car in front, then by all means don't sit behind them and do your saving. Get in front of them and try and get away. Vincent may be looking further up. I know they're quite a way behind Simon and Tony, but you never know what's going to happen. So, are you happy to lose 10-15 seconds over a stint to save some fuel, or do you want to go for it? And if something does happen up the front, you're in that position to get something out of it.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's 11 seconds to the next car ahead of them, which shows the pace and the consistency of Tony and Simon so far. Behind these two, Adam Wright, who is doing...
He's just had a shocker of a lap.
Pretty
He's
slow, that one.
46.9.
And then Wobbly's another 7.5 seconds behind Adam. And, well, obviously lapping faster than everybody else the last lap apart from the top two.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Adam on that previous lap, but I'm guessing there was a mistake somewhere.
Not that it came through on SDK. There was one.
No, probably too quick entry or something like that, or a bit of wheel spin on the way out.
Yeah.
But let's just see what this lap brings. See if he's back to normal. Yeah, so back to a 45.7 that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, the previous lap was a second slower. So definitely something happened there.
Yeah, I've got a report of Rob Van crashing, but he's not moved anywhere other than where he was, so I think he's probably just cut a corner too much.
Yeah, good luck to Alan. He's off to do the MX-5 World Sim Series.
Oh, very good. Yep, good luck for that. Yeah, Canadian crispy bacon's not wrong actually. Lots of the previous tracks that they've raced in the V8s have been very tight technical tracks, haven't they? And then you've got this massively open, just gun it and gas it track, and
Yeah.
a big transition, to be fair.
Yeah, most definitely, and we've been talking about it over the last few rounds. Winton, Knock Hill, and then Total Extreme Daytona.
Yeah.
And then Silverstone, another wide open, quick track. And then Sandown. That's the one they call the home of horsepower, isn't it?
Yeah, always befuddles me, that one, because as soon as you've got to the top of your revs, you're already getting on the brakes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Lots of 90-degree left-handers. So I've never understood. I mean, they come up with some silly names for tracks, don't they? Like the home of horsepower, the centre of speed, and all that rubbish.
Yeah, well, I can't remember what the Winton one was.
Oh, there's some good ones in America.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just.
So in America, everything's the world centre of.
I know. How can they all be the? Ooh, hang on a minute. Oh. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh.
Actually, that wasn't too hard a hit in the end, but he still reset the car.
I watched Kyle Busch break his leg. It wasn't quite in that spot. It was a bit further round.
Right. Which year was that?
Christ.
I know you've been there quite a few times now.
Must be 6 or 7 years ago.
Right.
It was in the Xfinity race as well. It wasn't even in the Cup race, if I remember rightly.
Right. So that'll be quite a long tow for Wobbly. As Tony breaks the tow to Simon to try and get him off him, or make him use more fuel, or one of those two things being true. Ooh, Tony, where are you going, mate? Where are you going? Keep it on the grey stuff. Oh, ooh, I thought he caught it. I thought he caught it.
That was almost a perfect drift.
Oh, and then a bit of wheel spin just to heat him up a little bit more.
Well, that's
anger.
I'm angry at myself.
Yeah. And he's going to want to put his foot down because these two are properly racing at the minute.
Well, we'll put that one all the way back to the Crispy curse.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, that's going straight back to Crispy.
Adam's still lapping in the 45s.
He is cutting the gap down.
He is, yeah.
It's a big gap to cut, but he's got time. Crispy's just realised the strength of his own curses. Now, I think that's JB in front of these two. Yeah.
Yeah, tell by the wheels.
Bright yellow. I'm staying high on the banking to let these guys go.
It's quite interesting when you're letting cars go, especially when you go up there high on the banking, because you're looking at the other cars and you're thinking, come on, come on,
get on with it.
And then all of a sudden they're gone, and you're like, how quick was they going?
He was off the gas before the start-finish line. Do you see that? I think there's a massive amount of fuel saving, which will benefit you massively in the last stop, won't it, really?
Yeah, most definitely.
So I think there's still some surprises from this race yet. 51 minutes in, and what are we, half an hour away from the next pit stop, something like that?
Try less than 10 minutes.
Oh, Christ. Oh, no. 3 stops. Sorry, I was on the 80-minute 2 stop there.
I do like commentating with you, Pete, because you do make me look intelligent. I'm crystal balling at the moment, trying to work out where things are gonna happen. So,
oh, look at that! No intention of overtaking. Vincent Skillback on the mega fuel save.
Oh, yeah,
like mega.
Be careful when you do that, because it's something that you're not used to doing.
Yes. Okay, Crispy says we both complement each other very well. I hope that doesn't mean that your intelligence counteracts my stupidity, because that's just insulting to me, really, isn't it? Yeah, Vincent's. I think they're going to get a mega surprise in that third stop, Clyde. I think some people are hugely fuel saving, some people are not. Some people can't. we know who that is.
So as the race stands now, you would say it's a win for Simon or Tony.
Yeah.
And then Vincent, and I still think Adam is in it for third place. But who's fuel saving, who's not fuel saving? We know Vincent is for definite.
Yeah, I can't
believe.
Does that
give him an advantage over Ant and Adam to claim the bottom step of the podium? Because Adam certainly isn't saving, because he's trying to catch them. I don't think Ant is saving, because he's trying to stay ahead.
Yeah.
So at the moment you would say advantage Vincent for third place. But
yeah,
we just don't know.
I mean,
I still say we should broadcast this on a Sunday.
How's that?
After we've watched the race. And then we both look intelligent.
Yeah. It'd certainly help me out. Although I'd probably forget what had happened.
You know, Tony's little drift, we could say, I don't know what you think, Pete, but
Back
Tony's tyres are looking a bit worn.
Yeah.
Then 2 corners later, we get a drift, see?
Yeah, good thinking. I mean, these guys are only 8 seconds behind Tony. I say only 8. Hang on a minute. Shouldn't they be more than that? What's going on here? Oh, yeah.
Don't forget Tony had a moment.
Yeah, but I didn't think he dropped a whole 4.5 seconds back. Has he had another bit?
I don't think so. I think it's just, you know, when you get in the lead, you get away, don't you? Unless somebody's in your toe, and then they draw you in from about 2 seconds back, and they look really, really good.
Yeah.
But obviously Tony is nowhere near the toe of Simon, so it's well, we're seeing 2 drivers on their own pure pace at the moment.
I'm surprised you didn't comment on that Airbus that was dropping in the background behind the races.
I try not to look at them now. Yeah, so we've known this for quite a few laps now, but Vincent has made his mind up now that this is definitely going to be a fuel-saving stint for him.
Yeah.
He can do plenty of it tucked up under Ant Woodward's rear wing.
But it'll make his final stop super short in theory if he can save enough, because he's going to add laps onto this stint. So his last one's going to be for less laps, therefore less fuel. And hopefully he can fuel it just right so that he can gun it the entire last stint. And then cut down that 8 seconds and get away from Ant Woodward. That's the plan, right?
Exactly, yeah. Get out in front of Ant, in third place. Maybe a bit closer to Tony, because I would suspect Tony's going to pit on the hour mark, there or thereabouts, because it worked for him last time.
Yep. Adam is still... Now, he's not cutting it down as much as he was, though, is he?
No.
He's slicing it down in thin slices now.
I don't know. I'll have a look when he comes across the start-finish line, but he did get it under 4 seconds. He's in the bus stop now as those two leave the bus stop. You can see them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which is always good. It somehow helps. Doesn't help at all in reality, but in your mind it does.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? You can see the car, you've got your target. You just target fixated from that point on. And Tony's closing on Simon again, which is no surprise, is it? Simon's probably doing a fuel save of his own now.
Yeah, I think you'll find maybe that gap will go down. Actually, it probably won't, because we haven't got enough laps left before Tony pits, but it wouldn't surprise me to see that go down to about 2.5 seconds, and then Simon controls it from there.
I mean, this is a very mature drive from Vincent, isn't it? It's easy to get carried away and, you know, get into third, think I can pull away. Well, actually, the sensible option right now is play the long game, play the 2 stint game now.
Yeah, although I will add a little caveat to that. With Vincent being Vincent, we are only halfway through.
Very true. Yeah, there's a few walls around here, aren't there?
There are many occasions that you can lose body panels around here.
Yes.
I lost my headset then. What's going on? So coming up on the hour mark. So who went early last time? Was it Rob Venn? First one in?
Let me have a look. Well, the first one in last time was Alex.
Yes, of course it was.
Followed by Nikolai the next lap. And then there was a whole bunch of them went in on lap 18 last time. JB, Rob Venn, Vincent, Ant Woodward and Tony.
Adam just into the 146s now. Alex is in.
I don't expect anybody else in for a little bit. Unless he's managed to... Ooh, Vincent. You get a bit racy.
Yeah, I think he may have said enough's enough.
Nope, he's...
there.
He's like, no, not doing that.
No, but to be honest, that can give you such a good drive out of the bus stop.
True. Square it off and punch it out.
Yeah.
Vincent looks like he's going to actually overtake this time.
Well,
he wants a clear run into pit road, doesn't
he? Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I think that means we're going to see Vincent in the pit very shortly.
Oh! I think Ant threw a few swear words in his direction just then.
I think Ant had to stamp on the brake pedal a bit harder than he really wanted to.
That's brought Adam within 3.8 seconds of them. Oh, hang on. Oh, dear. What's this? JB. Oh, he's got that bit of...
just that little bit of dirt.
Yeah, it doesn't take much through there as well because you're fully open on the throttle. And he's not hit anything though, so that's fine. Just gotta keep going. Right, I don't think we will be seeing these guys in for definitely not this lap. I think we'll see them in a couple of laps. I mean, Vincent's stretched out a lead there, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think Vincent has probably given himself at least another lap with all that saving that he did.
Yeah.
And I don't think has done any saving. Tony hasn't because he's in.
Yes.
Adam maybe another lap, but he definitely hasn't done any saving.
Nikolai is also just entering pit road.
Yeah, this is pretty much the same order that they came in last time, isn't it?
It's not far off it, yeah. I think there's clearly some more fuel saving gone on in the meantime. I'll tell you what, Nikolai's doing a good stealthy job of making his way up the field, you know.
Yeah, you always get one driver that does that. I think last time it was Jamie Wilson, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just somebody you don't really look at in the broadcast because they're not doing anything spectacular until you look at the result sheet and go, wow.
Round again for Simon.
Yeah, he did quite a bit of saving, didn't he, behind Tony?
Yeah.
So I'm expecting Ant
and Vincent.
Well, that's
I'm surprised.
surprising.
Yeah, I thought Vincent would, unless Vincent's going to be miles down the road because he's going to do such a much shorter stop. We're going to have to watch this and see what happens here.
Yeah, Adam stayed out.
Actually, Adam's doing all right then, isn't he? He's doing fast laps and fuel saving.
Yeah, he's gone further than I thought he was going to go, to be honest.
Although he was in on the 19th lap, same as our race leader.
So possibly next lap for Adam then.
Yeah. See what Simon does. I get the feeling Simon's going to go again.
Yeah, I don't expect Simon to stop this lap. Maybe the following lap or the one after that.
Well, that is a surprise. So these two come out together. Which I thought they'd be miles apart, with Vincent fuel saving behind Adam for so long. So I don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
No, that is a strange one. I wouldn't have thought Ant was fuel saving. In fact, I'm pretty sure Ant wasn't fuel saving because Adam would have caught him a lot quicker. Okay, Adam is in as suspected.
Race leader stretched it out yet again. Adam goes in, Rob Van leaves pit road. Simon Trundle is at Western Horseshoe.
Yeah, I think Simon may have another lap in him now.
You reckon?
Yeah.
That would be very impressive. So what you reckon, he's going to lap 37, 38?
Yeah.
All of that?
39.
Wow. I mean, it's a big long lap, isn't it? And you're on the gas a lot.
You are,
So
yes.
to fuel save an entire lap is huge.
But he did do a number of laps behind Tony Kloosterman, didn't he?
Yep.
These two are slightly bigger in the sights of Adam Wright.
Yep, they are.
Simon Trundle is in. No mistakes.
Nope.
Okay, so we said we would have a look halfway through at where we were on Naughty Boy points, and we are fine.
Right. I mean, that was expected, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
bus stop really is the only place, and then any serious off tracks usually end up in a wall around here, so.
Adam Wright probably needs to find a second and a half. Then he's going to start feeling the cars in front who are racing. Well, Ant is anyway.
He certainly is. That's a lovely overtake. If he can get it stopped and turned, he has done. That's great. And that will bring Adam ever so slightly nearer because they both be off their normal lines. Tony, who's got 2.25 seconds to Simon Trundle, who you can see in front of you. Simon keeps his steering open, doesn't he? For many corners, he's not scrubbing those fronts at all.
I can just see him managing this gap now. He can keep Tony Kloosterman 2.5 seconds behind. There is no tow for Tony.
Yeah. But lots of fuel use.
Well, I think looking at the way things are at the moment, and we know it can change, but his only challenge for the win is Tony.
Yeah.
As things stand. So he knows Tony's not fuel saving, therefore he doesn't need to fuel save, but by managing that gap at 2.5 seconds, he will be doing a bit of fuel saving as well. And Vincent is fuel saving again by the looks of it.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I have to run on board with Ant at some point over the stripe and see where he's lifting, because if they're both lifting at the same point, they're both saving at the same time.
Yeah, but they're not going to be doing each other. They're not going to be doing themselves any favours because Adam is half a second behind the toe.
Yeah.
Because once he manages to draft up to them, he can save fuel, and then it's game on for the final stint.
Yeah, we know that Adam's very, very good at passing people, isn't he? He can really put them in situations that they don't want to be in. So, yeah. Slowly cutting this time down, 2.3 seconds now to this pair in front.
Yeah, it was down at 1.7. And Vincent
says
tucked in, but now Vincent's saying no and going for it.
Yeah.
Adam's just done his best lap of the race with a 45.1.
Nice. Good race for these two, isn't it? They've been right on it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out. Like, Ant will overtake Vincent, and then you go, right, well, okay, well, Vincent's got a fuel save, and then he fuel saves for a lap, and then takes it back again.
Yeah. It's like not one thing or the other, is it?
Yeah.
It's no wonder they both came out on the same lap.
It's like Ant getting in front and then trying to fuel stay, which is then forcing Vincent to go past him. And Rob Venn puts his fastest lap in with a 46.0.
Good lap. Very good lap.
Adam Wright definitely feeling that toe now. Simon Trendle just put in the fastest lap of the race with a 44.6.
It's a qualifying lap.
I don't know if there was anybody in front of him to aid that. Oh.
Watching the wrong battle.
Well, I think Vincent just run wide at turn 1.
3 for third place, fine.
Yeah. No, this is where Adam needs to be cute and go, okay, I've done the hard work, I've caught you guys, now I'm going to save fuel and I'm going to do you on the last pit stop.
So what have they got? Quarter of an hour till the next stop.
Yep, there or thereabouts.
Oh, where's Vincent gone? He's back. That's good.
So we thought, or at least I thought, Vincent was pretty much nailed on for the third step of the podium with his fuel saving in the last stint.
I was convinced of it.
Out.
Yeah. Utterly convinced. So in case you've forgotten, folks, Simon Trendle is your race leader. He's going over the stripe on a 144.8, so he's still going super rapid. There's no fuel saving going on there. Tony Kloosterman in second place at the minute. And then we got these three for third, fourth and fifth. Ant Woodward, Vincent and Adam. It's taken Adam a while to recover from that damage on the first lap. Was it the first lap or the second lap? I can't remember. One of them.
Well, I think Vincent's race now all depends on what Adam does. If Adam gets racy with Vincent, then Vincent can afford to get racy with Ant. If Adam sits behind Vincent, I think Vincent has to sit behind Ant.
Right.
You've got to do whatever. I normally go opposite, do something different. But I think in Vincent's shoes, he's got to do exactly the same as what Adam does to have a chance at that podium. And I'm sort of ruling Ant Woodward out. I shouldn't do.
No, he's podium material, isn't he? He's been on there before. It'll be great for NQR to get 2 cars on the podium. I suppose the other thing you've got to wonder, not for these 3, because they're in, you know, continuous close company. But for the drivers that are out there on their own at the minute, focus is an issue around Daytona, I find. It's easy to drift off, do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I don't tend to suffer with it at Daytona, apart from planes taken off.
Well, yeah.
Because, like, you know, round the NASCAR oval part, I'm like hanging on for dear life, and white knuckle riding the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And then in any turn, I'm constantly petrified of overshooting the turn or something. So it's quite a mind concentrating track for me.
Yeah.
What is it? Monza, isn't it? Long straight chicane, long straight chicane.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's my worst one.
Right.
Because that's like the straight, I drift away, and then it's utter panic going through the chicane. Then I drift away down the straight, then utter panic in the chicane.
Yeah. Nürburgring's the one for me. There's just so much time between turns. I'm just like, oh, I wonder what I should have for dinner. Oh, wall.
Yeah, I kudos to all the drivers out there that learn that track. That just, I've lost count the amount of times where I'm coming up to a corner that I know is turn 128 and it turns out to be turn 712 instead.
Yeah.
Totally the wrong part of the track to what I thought I was at. Ooh, too much gas on exit there from Alex.
No real issues though, back running pretty quick.
We better clatter that one.
Yeah. It all looks a bit hectic now, doesn't it?
Well, it does. It just seems. I don't know what Vincent's doing at the moment. I don't know if it's Vincent's style of driving. I can't work out whether he's trying to get past Ant or stay behind him. Adam is doing exactly what Adam needs to do and go, right, I used some extra fuel catching these guys up, now I'm getting it back.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to do that. Maybe he can even leapfrog him in the pits.
Well, that's what I'm expecting. Unless something catastrophic happens between these two, I expect Adam will just sit there, save as much as he possibly can, and try and jump them both in the pit stop. Or let's hope he doesn't manage to save enough. No, none of them managed to save enough, so it is a pure race for these three for third position in the final stint. But the fuel gods might be against us on that one.
I would expect so. It's got to play out somewhere, right? all these, you know, chases back up to packs and, you know, running up to and alongside a car whilst fuel saving, that's got to get repaid at some point in a race.
You would think so, but that last stint where Vincent seemed like he was fuel saving for 90% of that stint, and it looked like it gave him absolutely no benefit whatsoever, and that has just really thrown me.
Yeah, and me. I was convinced he was going to stay out a lot longer, or do a really short stop, or, you know, any of those, that'd be fine. Just absolutely lost on me.
Although this will be the stint where we see how far people can go, because this one's the money stop coming up.
Yeah.
So you want to run your car dry, probably, and take on the smallest amount of fuel possible for the final stint.
On board with Adam. Wow. Oh, wow. Off the gas about a mile before the corner. And on this track, that's probably not an exaggeration. Let's have a look at this
That
one.
exit wasn't far off of a slowdown, right?
Yeah, I think on this one, they do tend to test their off tracks because they're so punishing. They're huge, you know. 2.2 seconds off the bus stop one, which around here is massive. Look at that. Oh my god. It's like 200 yards before the start-finish start-finish line, sorry. That's mega fuel saving, guys. That's way more than Vincent's doing.
Well, Vincent's looking racy again.
I know, but I don't... You've got to choose one tactic or the other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not both at the same time, it's not possible. So,
or is he giving a message to Adam? Don't get any closer, because I'm Looney Tunes here, mate.
yeah, I'm more mad than you are.
Yeah,
out psycho the psycho.
If you try and overtake me, you're going to get caught up in this accident I'm about to have with Ant.
Yeah. It's like driving in Italy. All you've got to do is drive more psycho than they do, and they leave you alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
What is he doing?
Don't know.
Or is he just trying to confuse us?
Well, that's not difficult. He could have just turned up and driven for that one. Right, Adam's suddenly pulled onto the back a lot. That. Good grief. Michael Talianchich, eat your heart out.
Oh, bit of a mistake from Ant there.
Yeah, he went a bit deep into the corner. Do you think Vincent's going to want this, though? No. I don't think he wants it. I think they're desperately trying to give it back to each other at the minute. No, you go first. No, after you. No, after you. Finally falling in step. Yeah, Adam doesn't know what the hell to do. He's yeah. Adam's going, come on, we're supposed to be racing forwards, not backwards.
That was a bit of an in-betweeners friends moment there.
Yeah. That was a good show. It shows you what they see on the inside of the car, which is confusing at times, apparently. So your race leader Simon Trendle has a 5.3 second lead, which I thought might be more, but I think it's, as Clyde said, he's managing that gap now. Back to Tony Kloosterman. Tony's got... Oh, go on.
I was going to say, the only time you'll see Simon go quicker now is if somebody takes the fastest lap away from him.
Right, yeah, good point. And he's winning that battle by a long way at the moment. 0.4 of a second over Tony Kloosterman. No, it's not over Tony, actually. It's over Adam. But it's still 0.4 of a second.
Adam and Vincent are playing who can go the slowest.
So, yeah, there's now 19.5 seconds back from Tony to this battle that we don't know what's going on with. It's the race for the smallest dwarf, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It's like Daytona NASCAR. Like, I do not want to be in the lead.
Yeah. And then some of those races become dangerous because so many people just don't want to lead the race.
Yeah.
Can you translate Crispy's last message?
I think he's something to do with Tony's operating system. And he's given his watch to Simon. Something like that.
Right, who's Rob found? Rob's found Alex Sevillano Lado because Alex has he been to the... No, he crashed again. A minute ago.
Pit lane is open for the final stop.
Right. So we should see Alex in fairly sharpish then, because he was first in on the last two.
Yeah, I say people are going to run them dry on this run, I suspect.
Well, now that Alex knows he's under mega threat from Rob, he's going to want to gun it pretty much, isn't he?
Yeah, or undercut him. You know, get in now.
Now this happened last time with Vincent trying to well, he did overtake last time, didn't he, before his pit stop?
Yeah.
I think he doesn't like cars in front of him when he pits. I think that's the point. There's a few drivers like that that want a clear entry to pit road so they don't get their braking points wrong and there's no congestion in front of them. You can see their pit box, especially on a NASCAR track.
Then I don't know if Vincent nails turn one and does it a bit like us.
Yeah. A little bit
So
random.
it makes it very, very difficult for Vincent to overtake.
Yeah. I think that's definitely Alex going to pit road. Yes, it is. So we'll leave that battle and return to this, whatever this is. That's all I've got for you, just whatever this is.
Well, you've got to say on pace, Adam Wright would be the favourite to take third position, but pace isn't everything. It really depends on what they've done previously, fuel saving. Right, there's a blinker. Ant Woodward is in. And just about got it slowed down, I think.
Yeah, I think that was good. Now, he's early, isn't he? Compared to his other stops, is what I mean.
Yeah, but again, you know, is that worth it? You know, even if you've managed to save some fuel, get in, get your fresh boots on, get out, and see if you can put a marker down.
Yeah. Either way, I think we're getting schooled here because I have no idea what's going on.
Well, we did say at the top of the show we would have no idea what was going on.
This is true. Unless we've delivered on our promise.
But you know, tactically, that could be the right move for Adam. If he feels he's the slower of those three drivers, get in, get out, get 2 or 3 seconds undercut on
Yep.
these guys.
Nice new tyres, lots of grip.
Yeah, if these guys underfuel slightly, and they haven't got a tow, they're not going to be able to save. You know, how many times have we? Oh, I know I've seen at least half a dozen races around here where people have run out of fuel on the banking round NASCAR turns 3 and 4.
Yes.
Right, Tony's in, but that's not surprising.
No.
Tony just
on
needs
schedule.
to do what is safe at the moment, because he's not really going to catch Simon without Simon making a mistake, and he's not going to get caught by the pack of 3 without Tony making a mistake. So Vincent stayed out. Adam came in. And you know what's going to happen? These 3 have all been doing different things, and they're all going to end up on the same bit of track.
Yeah. Tony's out. Adam's not rolled yet, but he was in quite a bit after. 19 seconds later, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah, it's Adam and Ant is the first bit we need to watch.
Yeah. Trying to find out where Ant is in relation to Adam.
Turn 1.
Oh, I think Adam's done this.
He has, hasn't he? Yeah.
By a long way, actually.
That's probably fuel.
Yeah. Let's have a look at their pit lane times. Oh, wow. Right. Once Vincent's pitted, I'll tell you about pit lane times. So Tony Clevesterman, that's his last visit to pit road done for the day. He's off to try and see if he can consolidate and maintain second place for the rest of the race. Here comes Vincent.
Yeah, I would suspect, and I can't see the times, that Adam would have slightly underfueled.
Well,
So he can get out, get the job done, and then save when he can.
I think slightly underfueled is an understatement. If you look at everybody else's times, I'll tell you about it in a second. I'll just see what Vincent does first. So Tony's just passed in the race. Nikolai is through, but he owes us a pit stop, and then Vincent is now rolling. Where's Adam? Adam's ahead of him.
Yeah,
And
so he jumped them both, but he was wild there.
He was wild, yeah. He's done it though.
Ant's going to come out second in this battle.
Right, so I don't think any other pit stops will be affected by what I'm going to share now. Everybody has done, Clyde, a pit stop of at least 25 seconds. 24.47 for Rob then. Adam, however, do you want to guess?
No, go on.
20.
Yeah.
5 seconds worth of fuel saving.
What was Vincent's?
Vincent was 25.85.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fuel difference.
So, to me, that 5 seconds is the fuel saving that he managed to do in the second half of that stint, and a little bit of underfueling.
Right, and he's going to save that in this stint, obviously.
Because he will be under no pressure whatsoever until and if Vincent or Ant get within 2.5 seconds of him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a blinding overtake there from Vincent. That was gorgeous.
Adam can actually save fuel to the tune of about 2 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a mighty gap over these two as well, hasn't he? 3.4 seconds.
He has, but he can't. He hasn't got the fuel in that car to get to the end of the race.
No.
But what we're seeing on the screen now is helping him.
Yeah, every time these guys switch positions, it just plays into his hands. Nikolai, is he the last? No, he's not the last. Race leader is going to be the last person to visit pit road, as Vincent screws up a corner.
Yeah, well, these two have got the fuel to go full chat all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Adam Wright was the hunter, is now the hunted. Yeah, you were saying a mature drive from Vincent. I think it's been a very skillful drive from Adam Wright.
Yeah.
After the near catastrophe on lap 1.
Yeah, that was a pretty heavy pair of hits, really. It was tit for tat, wasn't it? There was a hit one way and then a hit the other way, and
yeah,
Adam pretty much came off the worst for it.
Ultimately, I don't think he would have had anything for Simon Trendle, but I think there would have been a good battle between Adam and Tony for second. So I think he's probably only lost one overall position out of that.
Yeah, I would say so.
Would have been a hell of a lot worse.
Simon Trendle heading towards the bus stop for the 55th time. Still to pit the car for his final stop.
I should be back in a flash.
Sure thing. And into pit road for our race leader. As long as he makes no mistakes in this stop. You would put your money on him for the victory tonight. Nice and safe, and pops up straight away. That's all good. We'll see what the gap is to Tony Klosterman once Simon re-emerges from pit road. Meanwhile, these two need to be surgically separated from one another. Ooh, wow. That was a bit tasty. Vincent's got some damage on the right side of his car now, which I don't recall seeing a short time ago. Left side looks nice and shiny and clean. Right side's all scruffed up, so that might be something with a wall, possibly. Maybe it's been like that for a while and I've not noticed. See it there, all the Wheelie Bins logo scraped.
And I'm back.
Still racing really hard, these two, Clyde.
Yeah.
Like, really hard.
And I think, I said it's playing into Adam's hands.
Yeah.
Purely because it's allowing him to do some of that fuel saving he needs to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's brave though, isn't it? 5 seconds less stationary. It's unbelievable, to be fair.
It's a calculated risk, I think.
Oops, wrong button.
Yeah,
There we go.
if you do that and come out behind the cars, then yeah, it's game over.
Yeah.
But you do it and come out in front, you know, you then dictate when, how, and if you can save that fuel back.
this is another battle further back, which has been brewing for a while, and it's just come to a head. This is Rob versus Alex.
Ooh, a couple of wheels on the grass there for Rob. That could have been iffy.
Yeah. Through safe though. So Alex has kind of hunted Rob down over a couple of laps, or more than a couple of laps. Nice overtake at International Horseshoe. Now, the last time that happened, Rob snapped back straight away, which is what you're told to do, isn't it? Don't let him get away.
Yeah, you know, that's when the driver who's just performed the overtake is least expecting it.
Yes, yeah.
Because you know, you get past somebody, you naturally relax, job done, and then all of a sudden they're there again, and you're like, whoa.
Might be a bit done for now. These two are catching Adam, but like you say, if he's fuel saving or having to for a strategy,
he is fuel saving. He's in the 46s.
Right.
And what you will probably see is at some point his lap times will start coming down. Once his whatever he's using has told him he's saved enough fuel and he can now make it to the end.
One thing that's interesting up ahead is Simon Trundle used to be about 6 seconds ahead of Tony, and he's suddenly 16. That must be a pit stop.
Yeah, I would guess if you'd have a look at his pit stop time, it was shorter than anybody else's.
Well, not just that. Tony's pit stop time was longer than longer than everybody else's. So Simon did a 59-second stop, only beaten by Adam with his thimble full of fuel that he chucked in the car. Tony did a 108 full pit lane time.
Well, Tony wouldn't have saved any fuel in that previous stint whatsoever.
Yeah, so that's done for him. He's way off it now. But interestingly, only 13 seconds ahead of Adam. I mean, there's no time obviously to pull that back. But it means he can't make any mistakes. He's
most definitely, yes.
Crispy says, did Simon short fuel? I think yes. He's certainly a good 2 seconds stationary, less than everybody else, apart from Adam, obviously. What?
Woodward.
What? Oh, sorry, I've just seen it. What's this? This isn't a Western Horseshoe, then, is it? That's the dog leg they call that. Oh! Is that his kit again? Because his wheel is permanently left.
Turning left, yeah.
That is just... well, that's very sad.
Yeah, he turned left and it just didn't come back again.
No, and that's what happened at Phillip Island twice, if you remember. That's his kit failing him again. To get this far through an endurance race and that happened, it's tearful, isn't it?
Yeah, and he thought he had that sorted as well, didn't he?
He did.
However...
And there he is on the chat. I give up.
That could release Vincent to chase Adam.
Actually, good point, because he's now got nice free track, 2.7 seconds as a gap. It's not insurmountable. But yeah, your heart goes out to Ant Woodward, eh?
Well, yeah.
The car's still there, he can't even reset it.
I was just going to say, there's an NQR car out there. Yeah, we've all been there with
Gremlins.
Troubles we can't get to the bottom of. and they usually turn out to be the most innocuous of things going.
Yeah. So I think Ant was still sat at the side of the road trying to fix whatever was going on. He's now reset to pit road. I think we may see him retire.
What have we got left? We've got 13 minutes.
Yeah, not a lot. So where are we? So Simon Trundle is still your race leader. He's got 19 seconds now over Tony Kloosterman. Doesn't seem like Simon's short field at all, does it? He's just putting in super rapid laps. He's the only one at the 145s at the minute.
Yeah, he hasn't short fueled as such, has he? He just needed to put a lot less fuel in than anybody else.
Yeah, he was probably managing it for every lap of all of his stints, and it's paid off in the last one. Tony Kloosterman, second place, done a really good, solid job tonight, I'd say. And he needs to do another solid job for another 12.5 minutes. He's got a 13-second lead, we'll call that, back to Adam Wright, who we feel is going to be fuel saving for a bit longer. And then hunting him down 2.7 seconds behind is Vincent, who's clearly thrown it into the corners, doing whatever he can to get that podium position. And you would, wouldn't you? That's tempting.
Yeah, definitely. I think going back to Simon, there's no way that you would underfuel on that last stop.
No need, is there?
With a lead like that, you wouldn't risk it. You're right, Tony has had a solid race. I think Adam's in that lucky position now where he can just manage the gap and save when he can and put his foot down when he needs to. Yeah. Vincent is the one that holds some cards now. You know, if he's got the fuel, he's just got to put in half a dozen, 8 qualifying laps. And if he can get within 2 seconds of Adam, we know 2 laps after that he'll be right on his tail. He's really got to force Adam to use more fuel than he wants to now.
Yeah. Someone who's clearly using a lot of fuel is Simon Trundle. He's just on a 144.8, 2/10 slower than his own fastest lap of the race.
Who else we got there? So yeah, Vincent, like I say, Vincent just needs to go for it, but a good race from Vincent. Nikolai Bogotyrev has definitely been the stealth driver tonight. I think Alex Lado has done really well in a weird way because he joined late. We don't think he's had any practice. And was dog slow.
Yeah.
But he's used the first half as the race as practice, and now putting some decent lap times in. Rob Venn seems to have got stronger as the race has gone on, and I don't think this battle for 6th position is over by any way, shape or form.
No, definitely not.
JB Dejoux has done what JB does. He's a very, very steady driver. Doesn't cause other drivers any issues, and he's learning all the time. And then we've had Ant Woodward with what we think is another technical issue or repeat of a technical issue. Wobbly said that he had damage. And that's basically what ruined his race. We don't know what happened to Jamie. I'm guessing it was a rage quit, but I'm not sure. And then Stephen with a technical problem as well. Not a technical problem, but an iRacing technical problem.
Yeah.
And the reason I think Jamie's was a rage quit because I haven't seen any messages from him. I suspect he's naked in his back garden, self-flagellating with a tree branch. And Simon Trendle beats his own fastest lap with a 44.632.
Super rapid, isn't he?
Well, it's the mark of somebody that wins races, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I was in the lead, I would be going as slow as possible, so I didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, I don't think you were wrong about this 6th place. I don't think this is done either now.
No, I don't think the track allows Alex to get far enough away from Rob. And Rob has got that, last lap. If I'm within touching distance and I do the bus stop better than him,
Yeah, I'm
I've
having
got
it.
him.
Yeah.
Or at least if I can't get him, I'm going to wreck him and get him.
Yeah. It's been done a number of times at Daytona, hasn't it? In real life, I mean.
And claim a technical issue.
Yeah.
The cat jumped on my scrotum. I'm really sorry.
On my screen, and Woodward entered pit lane about 300 times just then, so don't ask me what else is going on.
Well, Ant is either trying to figure out again what the issue is,
Yeah.
or he's taken a sledgehammer to his rig.
Yeah, and just keeps hitting the escape button.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to fix it because he's just jumped to the pits again, so I think he's been out of pit lane. See what he's doing. Nothing.
But it's one of those nasty technical gremlins, isn't it, that's not there all the time.
Yeah, it's really annoying. So he says he's kicking holes in everything and firing his Simicube 2 through the walls.
That'll fix it.
Vincent has not managed to eat into Adam's gap at all, really.
No, it's. So I'm hoping that Adam tells us, yeah, he was just managing the gap at the end.
Yeah. I mean, to be the car with the lowest, the quickest stationary time. In other words, taking on the least amount of fuel of anybody and maintaining the gap to the car behind like he's done, that's very impressive. Especially since he had to gas it all the way up to the back of him, Vincent and Ant.
Have you read Ant's latest message?
No. What? I'm now back to single monitor due to right hook. So Ant Woodward has kicked the snot out of his rig. I think he's going to be using the family TV to see what he's doing next time out. And next time out is Silverstone, Clive. We need to remind everybody at the towards the end of this one.
It is in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks. The penultimate race destination. Not the penultimate race, but the penultimate race destination for this series. And then, as we said at the beginning of the stream, Sandown What date's Sandown? Do you know off the top of your head?
Well, yeah. So the end of the season comes quite rapidly. Silverstone is June the 3rd. Sandown is June the 10th.
Ah, right, okay.
Which then, in theory, gives us enough time to get season 14 going early July.
Very good. And hopefully with all the wonderful work that Alex Sevillano Lado is doing for us on Twitter, with all the twits, we can get even more twits in to race.
Yeah, we never have enough twits.
2 in the booth, and currently about 9 on the track.
So there's only 8 left on the track now.
8 is it? Has Ant gone now? Right, okay.
But I don't think he's disconnected, so maybe the power button doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, maybe it's just more than just that. Right, so these two are still slugging it out. Adam Wright was slow, but was falling back towards Vincent, but he's sorted that out now. He's pulled away again. It'll be interesting to see how much he's struggling on fuel, actually, if at all. Probably not, though, eh?
No, like I say, I stand by. I do believe that he underfueled for the final stint, but it was a calculated risk, and I fully suspect that he's been able to save the fuel by managing that gap back to Vincent.
Yeah.
Would have been different if he was in touching distance of Tony. Perhaps then he would have had to have fully fueled to try and chase him down, but the fact that he couldn't get anywhere near Tony really played his hand for him.
And you've got to have some degree of hate for Simon Trendle, right? Because he's at the end of the race and he's still doing quali laps at 144.9 last time round. What? And again, and again. What on earth?
Just had a Ant Woodward connection drop due to upload packet loss, so I think the hammer has now gone to the router as well.
Yeah. Oh, this is definitely on, and this isn't for shabby points. This is 6th place. This.
So where is the lead? No, this is going to be the final lap, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, yeah. Keep an eye on this until I get Simon coming through the bus stop then.
It's 30 seconds to the end.
Rob's done a good job of trying to get back at Alex here.
Simon's in NASCAR turn 2, so yeah, he's going to get the checkered flag this time. Oh, and Woodward's connected again, so he hasn't ripped the wires out of the wall for the router. A convincing win for Simon Trendle. Only Kloosterman is out of the bus stop. There's that Rob Venn battle. Yeah, didn't quite make it.
Not quite.
For Tony Kloosterman with a very steady second. Adam Wright with a great drive for 3rd. Vincent Skillback in the end had to settle for 4th. And our stealth driver of the evening, Nikolai Bogotyrev, is going to bring her home 5th.
Great Great result for Nikolai, that.
Most definitely. Vincent and Adam currently arguing on who had the least amount of wing on.
And back in the race, Clyde.
Yeah.
And Woodward. Give his sponsors some footage.
What is going on with my screens? I'm having technical issues now.
So well done to Ant for getting it sorted and finishing. Some good donuts going on there. Let's watch Ant Woodward doing donuts for a minute.
Right, get that over there. Thank you. Right. So we just await the official result. And there we go. So Simon Trendle with his third win on the trot for Team Chimera. Tony Kloosterman second, Never Quit Racing, and third step of the podium, Adam Wright, BSTV Esports Green. Fourth was Vincent Skilbeck for Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic, and fifth was Nikolai Bogatyrov for NQR Europe. Sixth was Alex Civillano Aledo for Hydra Race Racing Forces, and seventh was Rob Venn for BSTV Esports Green. Eighth was JB Dejoux for BSTV Esports Blue, and ninth was Ant Woodward for NQR Europe. Wobbly Kneecaps was 10th, Jamie Wilson classified 11th, and Stephen Phillips classified in 12th. So, we haven't got Mr. Trendle in yet, but I want to get him in first. We've got everybody apart from. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Oh no, there he is. He's just popped in. So let's bring him straight in. Simon Trendle, before everybody else congratulates you or calls you all the names under the sun for winning, welcome to the booth. A convincing win for you tonight. It seemed that your tactics were spot on. Other things fell into place, which allowed you to save a lot of fuel. And then you seem to be doing qualifying laps at the end. Anything I missed there?
Yeah, I was tempted to do a finish interview and just give you yes/no answers, but genuinely, I don't know what was going on in that first stint because I was fuel saving. I got that break and I thought, well, that's nice, but this is really going to be a boring 2 hours with that. So I started fuel saving like a ridiculous amount, and then no one started. They just kept falling over each other, and Jamie was caught up in it, and everyone else was caught up into it, and I have no idea what was going on. And yeah, and then I just kept the fuel saving going because I had nothing else to do. And then once I sort of realised that even with the fuel saving, I was jumping Tony. It was a case of, well, I've got nothing left to do but try and set the fastest lap for no reason. And I genuinely don't know where that pace came from. I don't know what everyone else was running. Setup wise, I haven't had a chance to speak to them yet, or why. But I don't know if
Well,
that setup was fast or what. But
I think you summed it up when you just said, because I had nothing else to do.
I did try to. I did try to form a pack. I did want that to be an interesting race, and I genuinely thought that the first 3 stints were going to be just a line of cars, and it was all going to be fuel saving, and it just didn't happen. So I am completely confused with how that race went.
Yeah, well, if you was a new driver to the series, we would say welcome to the endurance sprint races. But you're right. There was, I think somebody on the chat described it as mayhem. Maybe that's a bit strong, but there was a lot more going on in the opening laps than we normally see in the endurance races. But as I quite rightly said, and you pointed out as well, it was a break for you. Gets you out front, and then you can dictate your own pace from there. Even when Tony pitted earlier than you in the first stop, managed to get the jump on you. And people were saying, "Oh yeah, Tony's got ahead of him," and I was like, "No, Simon's going to be smiling because he can just sit there and save even more fuel now."
Well, it did until he made the mistake. I don't know if that's what everyone was doing, was just making lots of really small mistakes, especially at turn 1, because it's really difficult. Because Tony made that slip up, and I could see it coming. It was the longest slide I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was definitely Tokyo Drift.
I could have got my phone out and actually opened the camera app and filmed it if I wasn't in VR. But I don't know if that was just what it was, because when I was trying to do the fast laps at the end, Tony wasn't too far off me, only like 2 or 3 tenths. But then he'd have a lap where he was a second off me, and that's all I can think is that people were just having a difficult time with it.
Yeah, well, we said, opening the broadcast that turn 1 here is an adventure for most of us. There are a few drivers out there that get it spot on almost every time, but most drivers just take a different entry every time there's a different lap. But it looked comfortable for you. What happened to Jamie? Was that a rage quit? Is he self-flagellating in the garden?
It was a rage quit that started from getting the shit start again.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Literally, he'd done that thousands of times, or hundreds of times at least, against the AI, whatever, and just in the race, and then he's doing something different, and it's probably under the pressure. And I'm sure it's just a bit. It's getting the launch and then getting a bit too eager because he doesn't want to have a bad second stage of the start.
Yeah, and it did. To be fair, it did seem like the first stage tonight because there was a lot of wheel spin off the line. Obviously, we was a bit panicky with a Team Chimera lockout of the front row, and then if both of you get a bad start, it could be chaos to start with. But yeah, you made a decent start, and you must have been happy with, with the 1-2 in qualifying. That shows great pace from both of you.
Yeah, I mean, if we'd both got decent starts, the way I hope that race would have gone is I'd have probably dropped myself in front of Jamie and just pulled him along. And if he could have made the less mistakes than everyone else, we'd have got a 1-2 out of that race. So I'm slightly disappointed, but yeah, the qualifying pace was there, which is unusual. I gave him a massive draft, and then got one off Adam myself, so put us on the front row.
Yeah, well, that was a great qualifying effort, and you heard it here, folks. Simon would have preferred to be pulling Jamie all evening. So Silverstone next, a very Marmite track for me. How do you go around there?
Mixed. In the TCR of Neo TCR 6 hours, I have probably had the most consistent race I've ever had. I think in that race I was the third fastest driver, and I did 4 hours back to back. That was ridiculous. So if I do that, I'll be all right. But other times I've had really bad luck around there. But I like the track. I don't know. It would be a nightmare in this car. Long sweeping corners.
Maggots Beckett, brilliant. Rest of the track is a bit there. But yeah, each to their own. congratulations on yet another win, and possibly even mathematically clinching the championship. But I'll have to have a look at that in the morning. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yep. To you guys for sticking around for the broadcaster 2 hours. I'm not sure how much was going on elsewhere, but it did seem like that first 5
We had
laps
some
did.
battles.
Plenty.
Rob and Alex, I saw, were very close together a lot all the time, so it's probably just good camera footage there. Everyone who's turned up, because obviously it was a small field, probably not particularly fantastic. Daytona, Nürburgring going on, which I had in the background, probably pulling some people away. And Jamie for getting a pole. There we go. Even though I did help him out on that one.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, Simon Trendle.
See you then.
Forgot about Nürburgring, to be honest.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. Anyway, let's bring in Steady Eddie, Tony Kloosterman. Welcome to the booth.
Hi, Clyde.
Hello. How the devil are you?
Not too bad, considering we just drove for 2 hours at Daytona.
Yeah, it was a very how can I word this? An un-Tony-like drive. It was very, or it looked, apart from your Tokyo drift, very safe, very steady, very calculated, but it worked.
It did, and it was planned that way.
Yeah, we thought, has he got something for Simon? But ultimately, Simon has done a Chris Jackson, hasn't he, for the last two seasons?
Yeah.
So, in some respects, coming second is winning, and you really showed everybody else, how to do that today. Apart from the little nibble with Adam, which was nobody's fault, I don't think, at the start. But yeah, apart from that, you literally drove. Just totally. It looked like within yourself. I think is what I'm trying to get to.
I could see you're having trouble with that, Clyde. Just
it's not Tony. That's the bit that's throwing me. It's not what you do. We expect you to either be up the front or door banging with somebody, spinning off on your own, getting angry. But it was just calm, steady, relaxed.
Yeah. I think that I knew I had reasonable pace. And so that was good. I was extremely fortunate to make it through the first 2 laps, and no fault at anybody. I looked at the replay, and there was some massive net code there. So, that was unfortunate. And then I carried the damage until after the second pit stop. So I don't know if that hurt me at all initially, but obviously Simon was saving fuel, and once he pitted the last time, he probably gained at least 6 seconds on the pit stop, if not more, I would think. And then it was just a matter of settling in. There was such a big gap to him, and then a big gap back to Adam. So, it was a quiet ride. Other than twice going into turn 1, I thought I was going to meet my maker, but for the rest, it was okay.
Yeah, we definitely caught one of those when you was leading the race, and we honestly thought you'd saved it, and ultimately it just bit you at the end. But I would say a different race for you, but a good race with a great result. Is that just you said it was planned? Is that a Daytona thing? Or is that something that you're looking at to take forward into other races?
Of late, I seem to have gained a little bit of speed back that I think I was missing for a while. And certainly the luck has been on my side recently. Generally, it's on the other side. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. Um, I made an adjustment to my pedals with the Husqvarna software, and that has really, really made an improvement on my braking. So yeah, things are looking up, I think. Very happy with the result today.
So
And Simon was just on another planet.
yeah, so you just need to make an adjustment now on your pedals, on your throttle pedal, to be able to save fuel.
Yeah, that's not happening. And then the last corner going onto the back straight, Simon was getting 3/10 on me almost every single lap.
It's
He
a
was able to lay
horrible
the power
corner.
down. Oh,
Yeah,
it is.
it's
It is.
horrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Lots of
yeah,
wheel spin there.
yeah. Like I say, a great result, and probably the best result you could have hoped for realistically tonight. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Teammates, Simability, Wild Rides, devastated for Ant and his wheel problems again tonight. And thanks a lot for you guys for broadcasting the races. It's a shame that that more people weren't here today. It's a little disappointing.
Yeah, well, Nürburgring is on, we've been told as well. So, yeah, we was missing some that we thought were going to turn up, but never mind. We had some great racing anyway. But thanks, as always, for joining us in the booth, and we'll see you next time out. Tony Kloosterman.
Take care, guys.
Right, sorry about that, Pete. I didn't mean to do that interview, but
That's all right.
it means you'll get the next two. So let's bring in our third place driver, Adam Wright. Welcome to the booth.
Good evening, Adam.
How you doing?
Oh, we're very good. We saw some great racing just now. Nürburgring, and then there was Daytona as well, apparently. So, your race didn't start particularly brilliantly. It looked like solid air on the replay that I've just seen on screen a few minutes ago. With Tony, there was almost a double solid air event, and you suffered the worst for it. You were off into the greenery.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, to be fair. We both survived, so
Yeah.
you know, it's a long day ahead, so I wasn't too concerned. But yeah, I thought I'd left him room, and I'm sure he thought he left us. We basically left each other room, but just didn't happen. So
No,
we're all good.
The iRacing gods got you both with a lightning bolt there, I think. And then you steadily made your way forward again, and joined the back of Vincent and Ant Woodward until Ant's technical issues ejected him stage left, literally and permanently. After that last pit stop, which I was shocked about your pit lane stationary time, because it was a whopping 5 seconds less than everybody else's. That must have been a huge amount of fuel that you'd not put in the car.
It's good, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. I mean, what the hell? What's going on?
Well, we're just discussing this, and now I decided to fuel save from the get-go because I thought we were going to be in a draft train and you'd never be able to brake it. And my plan was, brake it on the final stop by getting a shorter fill, like what you saw, a 5 second shorter fill.
Yeah.
But it didn't materialise the draft train, but I kind of committed myself to saving. And to be honest, once you get in the rhythm of it, the pace is still there. So, yeah, I made a couple of mistakes. Tony got by. I was happy to sit behind Tony.
Mm-hmm.
But then I made a couple of mistakes and dropped behind Ant and Vincent early on. And then that was kind of my race then. Tony got away too far, and I thought I'm not going to be able to catch him. So when I came up behind Vincent and Ant, I just thought I'm going to save. So I was literally lifting off at the I don't know if you know the Geico restart line on the NASCAR.
Yeah.
But I was lifting off there.
We saw you were miles and miles back from the start-finish line.
You can just coast into turn one and get all the time back. But then basically my fuel calculator would have worked out how much fuel I needed on that fuel save.
Right.
And if I got in front of Vincent and Woody, I'd have been too short then on fuel. So I had to kind of guess how much extra I needed for when I'm in fresh air. And I only just got it right.
Well,
and I was watching, Ant and Vincent behind, and I had to keep that 3-second gap. If they got any closer, they would have got the tow, and I'd have been done for. So, yeah, it was nervous times towards the end.
But at the end of the day, the records will show it was a calm and calculated drive, and a podium finish for you. We go to Silverstone in a fortnight's time, and then a week later we're at Sandown. Silverstone, is that a track that you particularly like? People have various different opinions on it.
Just a bit
windy.
Windy.
No, it's further down south, isn't it? It's warmer down here. But, I don't know. It's just a bit meh, isn't it? You know.
It can be for a lot of people.
That's
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I think if they made a whole track that consisted of Maggots and Beckett's just one after the other, it would be the best track in the world.
Yeah, and what was the other corner they had that he took out? Went under the tunnel and then went off to the right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've forgotten that now. It was good that because you could go flat through there. It was good.
Yeah, always good. But yeah, so if the older one, lovely. But yeah, it's just a bit too flat and a bit too wide, isn't it?
Well, it's been tilted to death, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. In that case, are there any shout-outs you want to make before we let you go and celebrate your third place finish, podium finish tonight?
You guys, as always, Simability for helping us put on the show, and everyone that turned up. It was a bit of a slog today. I don't think everyone was overly enthused by it. Bridge, that's it. Yeah.
Ant Woodward told us.
Oh, right, cool. Oh, well done. Cheers, Ant.
And a shout out to Ant for knowing his corners.
Yeah,
he needs to get out a little bit more, doesn't he?
A little bit, yeah, but we'll let him off. In that case, we'll let you go and celebrate your third place, and we'll see you next time out at Silverstone. Adam Wright.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, next one for you, Pete. Let's see if he's about. Earth calling Vincent.
Come in, Vincent.
Morning.
Morning. I thought I was on Mork and Mindy for a minute there. You won't know what that is, I don't think, Vincent, but never mind. So, fourth place at the end of all of that. I think of all the cars on the track, you got by far the most footage tonight, wouldn't you say, Clyde?
I would have thought so, yes.
Yeah, and for all the best reasons this time. You left us guessing as to whether you were overtaking Ant Woodward or not on basically 67 laps. We had no idea, did we, Clyde? Well, is he fuel saving? Is he overtaking? What's he doing? Is he trying to freak him out? Is he overtaking? Is he fuel saving? Oh my God, just do something. We just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, once I got up behind Ant, I did think about trying to overtake him straight away. I had a couple of goes just to see if I could do it. I figured I can do it into turn one. The hairpins, I could have done it, but it was a little bit more risky doing it the hairpins. But then, most of the time I was just fuel saving until, I saw Adam starting to get a little bit closer and, try to kick it into gear then and try to get past him again.
Well, it was a very calm and calculated approach to the entire race, to be honest. I saw you sail it round the outside of Ant. I think it was it the first stop or the second stop? One of those two. And we thought then, right, he's going to go off down the road. And then you dropped back again behind Ant and then sat there again for another 20 laps. And we were like, what's going on? Was there a reason that you dropped back behind him? Was that just fuel saving? Was that because it was easier to do it that way?
No, I found once I was in front of Ant, I think he had a little bit less wing than I did. I was running, I think, 13 on my car. But, once I got in front of Ant, I wasn't able to pull away as much as I thought I would. But I think I was just making a little bit too many mistakes into turn one, and I think the first hairpin, I was locking the fronts a little bit. So, but I was happy to just let Ant back by and sit behind him and fuel save a bit more and see if we could push away from behind. But it didn't kind of work.
No, Adam had a different set of tactics, which was to use almost no fuel at all per lap and undercut the whole world by a massive amount of time in his last stop, which was pretty blinding tactics, to be honest. You've got to doff your hat to that, I suppose. 4th place, though, gets you a good bag full of points. Let's see what that does to your standing position. Where are you, Vincent? So you're a fair way down the listing because you haven't done all the races. So you're in 11th at the minute, and there's cars in front of you that didn't race today. So I think you're definitely into the top 10 in the standings. It's Silverstone next time. It's not everybody's favourite track. What's your opinion of it?
No, I quite like it. If I can get my setup right, I should do alright. I usually do pretty good on the UK tracks. But yeah, I'll see how I go.
Yeah, that's in a fortnight. Sundown is the season finale on the 10th of June. So I'm sure you're looking forward to that one. A race on home tarmac, as it were.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your 4th place tonight? Really good night's racing, and robbed other people rather of some sponsorship camera time because of sitting there and confusing us for so long.
Yeah, just everyone over at Wheelie Bins that keeps us running. Everyone in the league for the really good racing this season. You guys for the broadcast, and Simability for sponsoring the season again.
Awesome stuff. Vincent Skilbeck, everybody.
Catch you guys next round.
Nanu, Vincent.
Mark and Mindy, oh yeah.
Right, so last but not least, Mr. Woodward.
Ethan.
Welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
How much of your rig is left?
It's a little pile of scrap now.
Same problem?
Yeah. Wheel issues. I'm devastated.
I'm
thought it was
devastated
all
for you,
fixed.
mate, to be honest.
I nearly cried for you.
I've had the best season this season. I was sitting in 4th until Phillip Island.
Yeah.
And everything I've done. So, yeah, it's time to write that email and get some proper answers now.
You've and like you said, you think you've got it sorted because you have had a few races now without issues, not just in this series, and then it just comes back like that. And me and Pete were saying on the broadcast earlier that 99 times out of 100 it is something extremely stupid that's causing it. A little bit of software running in the background, or a cat's pubic hair on a sensor, or something like that. Let's talk about
me tonight, physically and emotionally.
The good side of the race. You had some really good pace there tonight.
I don't think I've ever driven so well as that.
Yeah. Something that I know I've taken the mickey out of you quite a lot in the past, but it was a bit very, very similar to Tony's race. It was like, I'm not going to try and be blindingly quick, but I am going to try and not to make any mistakes.
I just didn't want any damage, didn't want anything to affect top speed, and I just wanted to hold on to whatever draft was in front of me, to be honest. And then sort of lost the draft and got into a battle with Vincent, which was thoroughly enjoyable. And then Adam as well, he came back. And literally just as the wheel popped there, I just got within 2 something of Adam, and I was just sniffing a draft for 3rd place. So yeah, gotta love that.
Yeah, your battle with Vincent, although you enjoyed it, we didn't, because we couldn't work out what Vincent was trying to do. Because you either go past somebody and try and pull away, or you sit behind them and save the fuel, and Vincent was doing both.
Just a bit of distraction, I think.
But yeah, so you get to that point. We called it straight away. It was so blindingly obvious that what had happened, and yeah, all your good work is undone in an instant, isn't it?
The thought just entered my head because it was 2-something to Adam and he's in third. The thought just entered my head that we might be having this conversation about a brilliant third place. And as soon as that happens, you're doomed whatever. You can't let that thought enter your head. So it's my own fault for doing that.
Self-cursing.
Yeah, but you do, don't you? You're right what you're saying. I was saying, as soon as you get within 2 seconds, you start to feel it, and then that drags you a tenth closer. So then the next lap you get 2/10, and the next lap you get 4/10, and then you're on them. So I not that I've ever been up that high, but I know what you're saying. My thoughts are usually around 27th. I'm within 2 seconds now. I can get 26th here. But yeah, so where do you go from here with this problem?
Pick up the pieces, try and put it back together, and try and get it fixed. It was a big one, this, because Bob wasn't here, and there's been a huge rivalry this season between me and Bob. It's been kicking off. So Phillip Island was devastating. What happened there, coming away with no points and dropping from 4th to 10th in the overall standing. So this race here was a chance to claw something back, and it's gone. So no, literally just carry on. I'm not going to give up, but I really did. I'm a good loser. I've lost plenty, haven't I? You know it.
We know it.
All 11 seasons, and I've lost in many different ways, and I'm great at doing that. What you've really got to watch out for is when I win, but today I was pretty close to smashing stuff, I've got to be honest. There you go. That's why we love it.
When you do win, we're not going to drag you in the booth.
No, I
we're
wouldn't.
just going to leave
I
you
really
in the
wouldn't.
waiting room to celebrate.
Yeah, everyone will suck.
Well, well, look, mate. I from the bottom of my heart, I really hope you get to the bottom of these problems, because I know what little niggles can do. I remember a massive one with me where my car just would suddenly, very similar to you, turn left, and there was nothing I could do about it. And it turned out to be interference from a wireless mouse. It was that simple. But it took me like 73 years and £9 million worth of equipment to work out what it was. But I know you'll get there in the end. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go, apart from to SimCube?
To the team, obviously, Stacey, Jack and Evie, Simability, and you guys for doing this. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, always a pleasure, Anne. Don't give up. Get to the bottom of these problems and come back stronger. And hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks' time at Silverstone.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Next season, eh?
Always next season. See you later. Anne just said something there that resonated with me about Anne. He's lost in many, many different ways. And to be fair to Anne, it doesn't matter whether he's had a good race, a bad race. He always comes in for an interview, and I know deep down he'll get to the bottom of this. So we'll see him again. Right, well, that was Daytona, Pete. Yes, we didn't have many cars, but it was fascinating. The tactics on the endurance race, I know I always say it, but it really does. I love the fact that we have no idea what's going on until the end. And there was some good battles, but Simon Trendle just took it away, didn't he? There was no coming back from that once he got into the lead. I know Tony tried something different, whether that was on purpose or not, as in the different pit stop strategy. But ultimately, another win for Simon Trendle, and so I think that basically sews it up for him, but I will find out tomorrow. So we are going to have to vote for our driver of the evening, and I'm going to start with you, Pete.
Well, Simon's done a great race, but he's also benefiting from all those lovely points and the fastest lap. It'd be too easy to give him driver of the meeting. Tony Klusterman's definitely a contender for me. He's driven a very, as you put it, un-Klusterman-like performance in the fact that it didn't have a great deal of risk involved in it this time. It was very calm, very calculated, very safe, but very quick, very fast. But he kept himself out of most trouble. Obviously, there was that ding-dong at the start. Adam's done a great job of tactically getting himself back into the race. That's very impressive. Vincent's done a great job of keeping up with the fast guys at the front. Nikolai's moved forward a lot, you know. He's been a silent performer tonight, I think. Maybe a bit too silent for me. Alex has done a great job. He's no practiced into the race. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody driving V8s, but he's obviously capable of doing it. Rob Venn's done all right, and JB's done really well. He stayed into it for the whole race, and stayed there till the end. I think my vote though, I think it's got to go to Nikolai Bogotyrev. He's kept it quiet, kept it clean, and got himself a top 5 finish. For me, that's pretty impressive stuff.
Well, I totally agree with that. Although that wasn't who I was expecting you to pick, which has now given me an issue. Because out of the two that I thought you was going to pick, I was going to pick the other one, and you didn't pick either of them. But yeah, just to echo what you said, yeah, Simon should get driver of the meeting every meeting, but he keeps winning, so he's not getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony, bestest loser. He maximised his race. Adam, impressive after the first lap incident. Another good showing from Vincent. I would love to. I don't think he's had one yet, but I would love to see Vincent have a trouble-free season and see where he could get to.
Yeah.
And yeah, Nikolai stealth. You know, he did a Jamie Wilson from last time out. We just didn't look at him, and he's up there in the top 5. But I think I thought you was going to go for Tony or Adam. And I think out of those two, I think for me, Adam's drive was possibly slightly more impressive, and I mean very slightly more impressive than Tony's. More probably because he did everything that I said he was going to do, which made me look good as well. So, yeah, my vote is going to go to Adam Wright tonight. So that's it for tonight, Pete. We are back, as we've been saying, at Silverstone on June the 3rd, which is 2 weeks' time. Pete is back with Alan on Wednesday, and that is, I believe, Alton Park.
It is, yeah.
Pete, if memory serves correct.
Big track, no chicanes, going to be good.
Yeah, it's always good racing around there because it's not an easy track to overtake on, and it is very, very tight, and you have to earn your overtakes around Alton, I always say.
Yeah.
So big thanks to all the drivers that did turn up. Big thanks to Simability for sponsoring the series, and Glenn, if you are watching, expect an email off me tomorrow. Big thanks to the guys on the chat. Always appreciate those guys joining in, and hopefully Alan hasn't died in his race yet. I'm sure he will at some point. And big thanks to Pete for joining me in the booth and doing the cameras. So it just leaves me to say goodnight, let Pete say goodnight, and then we'll close the broadcast. So good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.
Yeah, good night, everybody. See you on Wednesday for the TCRs, and in a fortnight again for this. See you next time.